Hey guys, it's Mihal here, and today I'm going to be giving you an overview of what you should expect from a business management degree going into the first year of your studies. If you haven't already, then make sure to subscribe and turn post notifications on by clicking the subscribe button and then the bell. This ensures that you do not miss out on a single video as soon as it goes live. I'm Mihal Khan, a second year management student at the University of Nottingham, and more specifically, Nottingham University Business School. If you've been following me for a while now, then you'll know that in my first year studying management, I achieved a 2-2. Now, I previously explained that this is because I focused on settling into the university life and experience so that I'm ready for second year where my grades actually count towards my overall degree classification. Because if you didn't know already, your first year grades do not count towards your overall degree classification. So let's say you could easily get a first in first year, but then for example get a 2-2 in second year and a 2-2 in third year. And then you would come out with a 2-2 overall, and that first wouldn't bump up your grade to, for example, a 2-1, because your first year grades do not count. So that is the first thing you should know when you're starting your business management degree, is that your first year grades do not count towards your overall degree classification. However, they will be on your degree transcript, so employers and the likes will be able to see it. Before I started my business degree, I completed AQA A-level business, in which I got an A grade, and a diploma in financial studies, in which I got a B grade, and this gave me a foundation to study business at university. I know a lot of you will be sitting at home right now with not much to do because of the current pandemic, and this is why I'm creating this video, to give you an idea of what you should expect from your degree come September time, and also how you can actually use some of this free time to prepare for it so that you can excel in your first year of your studies and ultimately throughout your 3 years of studying a business degree, or 4 years if you're doing a placement. Despite having personally studied A-level business and achieving an A grade, I've said this many times before and I'll say it again, you do not need A-level business or GCSE business to study business at university. So someone, for example, could get an A at A-level business. Let's take myself as an example. I might get a 2-1 overall. Someone might not have studied A-level business at all, and they may get a first class. So really, you do not need to have studied business previously. However, I would advise that you read the news to stay up to date with current world affairs. Whether it be business or political news that you decide to read, reading the news will help bolster your general knowledge, and this can prove to be very important, as during coursework pieces, you can get asked to talk about a specific company or use a company as an example to answer a coursework question. And obviously, if you're reading news and keeping up to date with current affairs, you might learn something, for example, about Tesla, and then later on you might decide that you want to talk about Tesla in a coursework piece like I did earlier this year. I recently paid for a yearly subscription to The Times, and this is the first time ever in my life that I've paid for journalism, let alone something as cheap as a newspaper, which can cost something like 20p. Whilst there are many free journalism sites out there on the internet, I believe that The Times is one of the most credible sources you can read from, and I'm going to be listing my other credible sources that I believe that you should look into as well. But the actual reason that I did subscribe to The Times is because they post a lot of information, whether it be business related, political related, or anything else. And I find that their articles can actually prove to be quite useful as wider reading, which I'll get into later, which they can then directly be used in your coursework assignments. And in second year right now, all of my assignments this semester are coursework related. So you do have coursework in first year as well, but for me right now, I believe that it's good to sign up to The Times. But I'm going to say, the earlier you start reading the news, the better it is. Because even if an article is, for example, from 2 years ago and you remember it in third year, then you can be like, I remember reading something, get it up and then use it as wider reading and show evidence that you've read beyond the course textbook and the lectures. My personal journalism recommendations are The Times, Financial Times, and The Economist. Luckily, as a student at Nottingham University Business School, they provide access to both The Economist and Financial Times for free, meaning that I don't have to pay to access these otherwise paid services. So the only one that I do have to pay for is The Times, but there is a student discount available. This isn't an ad, I'm just letting you know, if you do want to subscribe to The Times, there is a student discount, and I'm paying something like £26 a year, which is really cheap, and when you put it into practice, you could pay £50 for a course textbook, or you could pay £26 for an entire year which can then help cover multiple modules and really just works out to be really good value. If resources such as the Financial Times and The Economist weren't useful, there'd be no reason that the business school for Nottingham would provide these for free. So they are essentially hinting, use these and use them effectively. And that is why I do utilize the Times, the Financial Times and The Economist when I do my coursework assignments. By spending the free time that you currently have reading the news, this will help prepare you for your business degree before you've even started it. So during first year, let's say you are asked a question on an example of an entrepreneurial company. By reading the news, you could discover that Tesla are very entrepreneurial, Google and the likes, but rather than just saying names, you can give examples because you've read the news and you've seen actual case studies of what they've done. In one of my modules during first year, Entrepreneurship Theory and Practice, it often discussed entrepreneurship, intrapreneurship, and examples of businesses that failed to adapt to technological advancements and so lost their place as a market leader. And an example of this is Kodak. But simply stating an example of a failed business isn't good enough. You need to know why they failed, because then this gives you the foundation for what businesses should do to succeed. And so you are thinking already how to be an entrepreneur, and this proves to be very useful for modules such as Entrepreneurship Theory and Practice. A recent article from the Financial Times headlined "Entrepreneurs are the people driving corporate change" basically discusses how entrepreneurship started and how it affects corporate culture. Immediately right there, you're gaining insight into two key themes of a business degree: entrepreneurship and HR. On my BSc Management course at the University of Nottingham, there were 6 themes that were covered: business and society, entrepreneurship, marketing, operations management and information systems, organizational behavior and human resource management, and last but not least, strategy. Your first year studying a business degree is designed to help you cover breadth rather than specializing across a few themes. So don't worry if you feel like you're going to struggle with a theme, as in second year and third year, you're able to have more freedom over what modules you decide to choose. And so basically first year's a taster in a way of what you could expect from second and third year when you decide to specialize in different themes. The themes that I listed from Nottingham University Business School are actually quite common across other universities in the UK. However, they may differ from uni to uni, so make sure you check your course website to see what modules you'll be studying, as also during first year, you'll have little flexibility towards what modules you choose, and obviously you get more freedom in second and third year. For example, first year students at the University of Manchester will study a module called Financial Decision Making, and this isn't something that I personally studied within my first year studying BSc Management at Nottingham University Business School. So like I say, modules may differ from uni to uni, however the themes will be quite similar and sometimes even the same. Speaking of modules, the modules that I studied within my first year studying a business degree were as follows: professional and academic development, work and society, managing operations in the digital enterprise, quantitative analysis for business, consumers and markets, organizational behavior, fundamentals of financial and management accounting, entrepreneurship theory and practice, and last but not least, the 9th module that I studied last year, business economics. Each module is typically worth either 10 credits or 20 credits, and at Nottingham University Business School, you have a total of 120 credits per year. If you don't know what credits are, essentially, if a module is worth 20 credits, it weighs more than a module that's worth 10 credits. So obviously, you want to try and do better in your 20 credit modules than in your 10 credit modules. So then, let's say you do badly on a 10 credit module, it doesn't matter so much as long as you've done really well on a 20 credit module. In terms of what you should expect from the year itself, there are a lot more contact hours in first year than in second and third year. And in theory, this means that you have to do less wider reading. This is because if you are in lectures more, you're actually expected to do a bit less independent study. And with first year kind of being a foundation year, it's simply designed to prepare you for second and third year where your grades actually count. There might be a day or two where you'll have a full day of lectures, where you might even finish the day at 6 PM, having started it at 9 AM. However, I've found that business management degree is quite manageable in comparison to, for example, a maths or mechanical engineering degree, as I know people doing those degrees who in first year were having full days basically every day of the week. In terms of wider reading, you should ideally be reading the core textbook offered by your module at the very least. And usually your university will also provide links to journals and whatnot as additional reading. But if you add the news to this, then I have no doubt that you will smash first year. And it is imperative that if you want to succeed in a business degree, that you start reading news, and believe me, start reading news before first year instead of, for example, during second year. During first year studying a business degree, you'll have a mixture of individual coursework, exams, and group work. And let me tell you right now, you're not going to like group work. It's not nice during first year, and it really isn't nice during second year either. However, I found it to be a bit better this year than it was last year. But at most unis, group work is inevitable, and it's simply designed to not only help you get to know people during first year, but to also develop key skills such as communication and team working. The reason I say that group work is especially a pain during first year is because during first year, people are just trying to have fun. They've just come to university, they want to go out, they're not really focused as much on work. And so when you have a piece of group work, and let's say it's a month before deadline, a lot of people probably won't be thinking, let's do the group work. They'll probably leave it till, let's say, 2 weeks before, and it might be hard to chase people up because they're just out there having fun and they're like, oh, chill, it's first year. So that is why it's a bit more for pain during first year. However, in second and third year, group work does become a bit better because, like I say, your grades actually do count. So my warning to you is, as a business student in first year, prepare to have your patience tested and prepare to fall out with some people over group work. It doesn't necessarily mean it will happen, but be prepared to have your patience tested at the very least, because there are going to be times where you are furious with other people for not throwing their weight about. But like I say, group work is basically there during first year to help you get to know people and to develop your teamwork skills. So if you just stick to focusing on that, then chances are you won't fall out with people and everything will be good. And like I say, because first year is a foundation year or a trial year, try and nail it during first year so then you know what to expect from second and third year. But the most important thing that I can't stress enough is to enjoy yourself during first year as a business student and don't overwork yourself. Obviously try and do as well as you can, but because it is your first year, enjoy yourself, because you've just come to university, you're going to be here for 3 or 4 years, and you don't want to be a workaholic 24/7. You won't have fun, you'll leave uni looking back and thinking, I didn't have any fun, what was the point of this? Trust me, you don't want to be that person that's always working. It's good to work, but it's also good to have fun as well. Reward yourself, but obviously don't overdo it with the reward, and don't make it so that you're doing your work at the very last minute, because chances are this won't work very well. And to be honest, there isn't that much to it when it comes to first year studying a business management degree. And so that is going to be it for the video, guys and girls. I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope it has been really informative. If you did enjoy it, then make sure to leave a like, comment below, and subscribe. Follow me on social media. I do now have TikTok, so that's at Mehel Khan. Go and follow me over there, as I will start posting soon. I'm just trying to come up with ideas. It's different to YouTube, so ideas are a bit more hard to come up with because you have to be a bit more creative. But make sure to follow me over there on Snapchat and Instagram at Mehel Khan, Twitter at MehelX, and Facebook official Mehel Khan. Let me know if you want to see a similar video from me for second year, as I have just unofficially finished second year, so I can tell you what you should expect from a business degree during second year. So if you do want to see that, let me know on my social media they will be in the description or in the comment section below. And let me know what other videos you'd like to see from me. I'm going to be making more videos, don't worry. I know I keep saying it, but this is why you're seeing a second upload in like 2 days. I'm back on the grind, it's all good. COVID has actually kind of given me time in a way to just sit down and think about what videos you guys want to see. But obviously, you are the viewer, so you can let me know what you want to see in the comments below or on my social media handles. But that is going to be it. I hope you did enjoy it. I've been Mehel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.